Okay, we're here to talk about the Fog War and the development of our new game. So the Fog War is going to be a new global real-time strategy game played on a real-world map, and it's kind of like a battleships in a war environment. So you're setting out your base and your buildings, and then you're basically shooting missiles at other people across in other areas of the map, but you can't see how they've configured their base. And the idea is that you'll be trying to sort of take damage, do some, figure out where the buildings are, and then over the long term sort of work out and develop on your buildings and so on. So we're here with, I've got Lucy here, who's our lead developer. And she's going to be we're going to have a little chat about what we've been doing with the development of the Fog War and where we come from. So the Fog War started originally as a game called Land of War, and Land of War was around I don't know, about how many years ago would you say, Lucy?
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years ago, and we launched that on Facebook, and it was played on a Google Maps. I think it was a Google Maps.
Yeah, it was first Google Maps, then it went to OpenStreetMaps.
Yeah, and it's like a top-down sort of very simple graphics. Colour blob triangles tracking along on a map, wasn't it? And you had to
like web-based game rather than more than the visuals.
And it was really good fun. So it was one of our first sort of toe dips into a slightly bigger game, and we actually had quite a few players playing it, and we found that it was like the limitations of Facebook, really, wouldn't it? At the time, it was a bit clunky, couldn't really go too far with it.
Yeah, it's very much here's what we could get done, rather than this vision of what we really want to get done if we had the freedom of it. Yeah.
So we decided, after it being parked for several years, to sort of reinvigorate it for 2019 and what will be 2020 by the time it's actually released. So the game's being developed in Unity and using Mapbox this time.
Mapbox is data to make vector graphics for everything rather than the flat on a map style that you normally see on Google Maps.
Can you talk through a little bit about the development sort of roadmap so far, Lucy, and how we've sort of gone about it? So where did you start? So let's talk about the back end. So how's the data structured and where's it stored?
The data is stored in Firebase to make it scalable and everything real time without the trouble of having to sync everything. And then you've got all the actions are done through Firebase functions instead of the client side because of certain limitations with Firebase desktop that we're working around.
Yeah. So that's the back end, and so in the front end that's just regular Unity.
Yeah, it's regular Unity and integrating bits of Firebase database to pretty much make everything of the data to be visual.
Cool. So so explain the game and how it's going to be played. So how is a player going to engage with the game?
It's going to be a full-on desktop experience like any normal game, rather than the previous played in a web browser. So you'd go into it and you'd have all the management panels around the interface and all the logs of you've just been attacked or you got an incoming attack.
So you're going to see these missiles on the map?
Oh yeah, you'd see an actual model of the missile flying through the air. You could track it manually, or as you upgrade your base, you can add automatic tracking to say you've got an incoming attack that's 3 minutes away.
That's cool. And then what's the idea? You actually shoot these missiles down?
Yeah, you actually have an anti-air and you've got to aim and kind of guess it's going to be about a minute for my anti-air to hit it in this position, and kind of be ready for all the attacks rather than being caught without an idea of how am I going to defend this attack.
So is there going to be any resource management with with the game?
To start with, it's going to be pretty minimal to just get the base gameplay down, but eventually you'll be going into more item-based and collecting stuff around the world to pretty much progress your base on.
Sounds good. Have you taken any inspiration from any other games? Or is there any sort of so people listening to this vlog, what's the most similar thing you think it's?
I'd say the most similar is Factorio, but without the overview of like you've got complete control. It's more of I don't really know about the enemies because they're constantly changing because it's other people attacking you.
Yeah, I get you. So is it going to be? How is the gameplay? How is it going to be? Is it going to be on one server? Is it going to be multiple servers?
We've had a lot of discussion about it, and it's leaning towards one server because it's played in the real world. It's more of people in their local area fight out for their area to build up, and as they get more powerful, they can launch to stuff that's in other countries, other continents eventually once they get good enough.
So I think the initial plan is to roll out in with a restricted map, is that right? So we try and keep
everyone's in a nice dense area to keep the momentum of the game high for everyone.
Yeah. So what is there? I mean, I think it's going to be a very community developed approach, right? So we're going to be reaching out to the community, certainly the alpha testers, and say,
what do people actually want out of the game? Where do they want it to head towards?
Yeah. So on that note, so don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also sign up to our newsletter if you want to actually become a alpha tester, because we're looking for game testers to actually get on and get playing this game as soon as it's ready. Right. So what else is there to talk about really at this point? On this channel we're going to be releasing weekly devlogs, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to try and update you guys with what we've actually been doing.
The progress as it's going on.
Yeah.
Here is the things we've had challenges with. Here's how we've overcome them.
So at Loopy Media Games, we're also a sort of a regular development company making websites, content management systems, software, all the rest of it. So we are sort of slotting this in between regular client work. So we're not able to work on it full time as such, but
we would like to.
Yeah, we would like to. Yeah, but there's also other things going on. We've got 3D artists in as well that are working on the game, that are moving it on. Anything else you want to add?
Not that I can think of.
Excellent. Bear with us. This is our first go at doing a devlog, so we're going to hopefully get better as time goes on. But thanks for sticking by, and we hope to catch you on the next one.